Hey everyone, welcome back to Black Woman Fly. This is a safe space where we rise above the noise and shadow stereotypes. I'm Jaleisha Jones, author, advocate, and your personal guide to unapologetic authenticity. This is a safe space for women where we can grow, heal, learn from each other and our experiences. If you feel inclined, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Tap in so you're notified when you have videos posted on this channel. Let's dive in. Who is movie buffs? Who are movie buffs? Who loves romantic comedies? Who loves romantic movies? Is it just me? Okay, let it be me. I want to talk about the movie Moonstruck. It's an oldie, came out in 1987. It is a romantic comedy, it's a classic. It stars Cher and Nicolas Cage, and I absolutely love it. It's probably number 2 favorite movie of all time. And I want to talk about why every woman that is single in their 30s should be watching this movie if you have not. Let's dive into it. Now, I'm not going to give you too many spoilers, but I have to relate or correlate the story, the plot line to why I wanted to make this video. So if you don't want to know anything about this movie, you need to click off now. You need to click off. But for those who are about that life and you ready to hear about Moonstruck and my fandom and why this applies to us in our 30s, let's get into it. So Moonstruck applies to any 30-year-old woman, but it's based in New York. It happened in 1997. The film was released in 1987. Excuse me. And it stars Cher, and Cher plays Loretta. Loretta is a 37-year-old widow, and she lives with her parents in New York. She's Italian, right? And so she's kind of, I'm not going to say she's pathetic, but she's kind of down on herself. She accepted that, she's lost probably the love of her life and that she's just meant to live with her parents and be an old maid pretty much. And she has a romantic interest. His name is Johnny, who she gets engaged to, but there's no love there. There's no love there. It's just like a kind of like an arrangement. Like they have an exchange of energy in some type of way, but there's no love there. Loretta has kind of put aside the idea of having children. She thinks she's too old. She's 37. She really doesn't think anything too much of this relationship. She just feels she can pursue her wifely duties, but that's it. Now, Johnny has to go away, and I'm not going to tell too much of the story, but Johnny has to go away for a bit, and he wants her to invite his brother, Ronnie, to the wedding. Now, keep in mind, this is a romantic comedy. And so while he's away, she goes to personally invite his brother to the wedding. When she meets his brother is chaotic. He's younger than Johnny, and he's younger than Loretta. He's a young man. He's probably in his late 20s, and he's chaotic. He's erratic. He is all over the place. He's a pretty much very just dramatic, reminds me of a Leo man. Okay, but he is very dramatic. He's very handsome. He's very passionate. He is just full of emotion. And one thing leads to another, and things happen between them. Now, I'm not going to tell you too much what happens beyond that. Like I said, it's a romantic comedy, but I want to talk about why women in their 30s need to watch this movie, especially if you're single. Now, I am 36. I just turned 36 beginning of this month. And one of the things, I've always loved this movie. I saw this movie when I was in my late teens. And of course, watching it from the perspective now, being in my 30s, is different. Watching it now, I can see why it's so empowering, because looking at it from my perspective, I'm 36. I've never been married. I've never been in a serious relationship. And people will society will write you off. They'll say you're too old. They'll say that, you haven't had kids yet. Nobody's going to want you. Your time is up. You go on social media. Men will project this out that men don't want women that are over 30-ish, that you're too old, you're washed up. Something's wrong with you because you've been single. Even your family will project this, like the longer that you're single, something's wrong with you. You're not going to have kids. Nobody's going to want you. Even with my family, like my mom, time is ticking, right? You haven't had kids yet. You don't have a man. Time is wasting. Nobody's going to want you after a while. You're getting too old. But look at me. Okay, side note. That's anything. That's past point. But society will tell you, especially when you're in your 30s, that if you don't hurry up and choose someone, or let someone choose you, or if you don't settle down quickly, that you cannot compete with women in their 20s. You're not going to have a man. Men are not going to want you. And this movie is such a counteract argument to that. a countering argument to that, because in this space, Loretta is 37. Has gray hair. She has gray hairs in her hair. She doesn't really dress up or take care of herself in a way of, like, prioritizing her beauty. And she meets this younger man, and this younger man adores her. This younger man is infatuated with her. And it beats the stereotype that women aren't in their 30s are not wanted, and that we have to look a certain way, or we have to uphold to a certain ideal of what a woman should be like or act like to have a man or to be wanted by a man, which is BS. I don't subscribe to that. And I will say this: only reason I'm single is because I've chosen to be single, and I haven't put myself out there. Now, I believe if I really wanted to have a man, I can have a man. And I'm at the space where I'm getting close. So I want to have a man, right? I'm manifesting that. But it's not because I'm not worthy. It's not because I'm getting too old. It's not because I'm dried up. If I believe that about myself, then of course I personally believe my reality will reflect that. So if you believe that you're not worthy because you're single and you're in your 30s and it's been a long time, really prioritize, why are you single? Is it because you have standards? Is it because you have boundaries? Is it because you respect yourself? Is it because you value yourself? Is it because you love yourself so much that you desire to only share that energy, that space, that glorious of you with someone who's worthy of that? Can we reframe what society thinks is mediocre or society deems trash because we're single? Can we see it from a perspective of love, a perspective of light, a perspective of, we know what we're worthy of. We know that our time, our energy, our space is valuable. And for anyone to come into that space, they need to be worthy of that, right? And that this movie is a reflection of that, I feel like. Okay, another thing I want to talk about. One of the things that Loretta in this movie, like I said in the beginning, she doesn't really take care of herself. She doesn't really care about how she looks. She doesn't care about how she is viewed. And in the exchange or the experience she has with Ronnie, something changes. Something switches. It's almost like she has a reawakening or a re-identification of who she is. And she realizes that she's not old. She realizes that she's a beautiful woman. She goes, gets her hair done. She starts dressing differently. She's wearing makeup. She's wearing heels. Like, she dyed her hair black. She got rid of the gray hairs. She starts feeling herself. And of course, your beauty isn't reflected by your outwardly appearance. But of course, if you feel good, taking care of yourself on the outside should be a reflection of that, of how you feel. What you put in your body, how you feed yourself, how you treat yourself is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. And in this case, it's such a beautiful, beautiful way of showing women that are in their 30s who feel like their time is passing by, or that maybe they're in competition with women in their 20s, which is an illusion. That, no, you got it if you want to, honey. You need to be taking care of yourself. You need to be really figuring out what you like, what you don't like, what you like to wear, what accentuates your figure better, what makes you beautiful, what makes you sexy, what makes you feel good, what perfumes, what lipsticks, what shoes, what makes you feel empowered. Not what the next woman is doing, not what social media is telling you should do, not what your family is telling you what to do, not your friend, not anybody. What makes you feel good? And then embrace that and just walk in that. And that's what's empowering. That's what's actually sexy. That's what's actually divine. And that attracts so many different other people, because you walk and you move in confidence. And you can see the transition from Loretta in the beginning of the movie, feeling kind of down, subdued, whatever, to as you near the middle and toward the end, she's confident. She's bold. She always spoke and said what she wanted, but now she has so much passion. That exchange with Ronnie kind of awoken something in her, maybe that she didn't even know she had, or maybe something that she had let go of because of disappointments, of fear or pain, whatever reason. She re-identified with herself. She reimagined the woman she could be in her 30s, in her late 30s. And I think that's such a great lesson for women in our 30s. We should be redefining who we are. We're not the same person that we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Our desires change. Our wants change. What we like or we don't like change. And we should always be getting to know ourselves. No one else is going to know you better than you. No one else is going to be able to tell you about yourself like you could tell you about yourself. And so I just would encourage, figure out who you are today. Figure out what do you like. Figure out what brings you joy. Figure out what makes you feel good. What music, what scents, what smells, what taste, what trips, what clothes, you know, touch in or tap into your senses, your five senses, and really just re-identify with who you are today. That will do something to your confidence, to your self-esteem, and to the way you see yourself and value yourself in your 30s. And so I think that's such an empowering message in the movie. This is a movie to show that you don't have to be defined by your past. You don't have to stay stuck in the past. That at any moment, something different can show up. A new door can be open. A new opportunity can land in your lap. And it's on you. It's on you if you will be open to it, or if you allow yourself to experience something new that can possibly change the whole direction of your life. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not worthy. I'm here to tell you that you are worthy. Loretta didn't think she was worthy, and then she learned she was, and she tapped all the way into it. You gotta be reminded that you are worthy, you are beautiful, and even if you have a man, or if you don't have a man, if you have a partner, you don't have a partner, that doesn't change your worthiness, that doesn't change your value as a woman, as a goddess, as a divine being, as a magical person. That doesn't change anything, okay? If anything, flip that negative in your mind into a positive. Remind yourself, I'm single because I'm amazing. I'm single because I know what I want. I'm single because I have standards. I'm single because what I desire, it doesn't come around so easily. What I desire or what I require from a partner, that person is rare. That person is special. That person is divine. And when that person comes into my life, I will know it that it's mine. And I will know what it feels like to be loved in the way that I desire to be loved. And one last thing I would say is that one of the best lessons you can get from the movie, it just came to me. Loretta was with Johnny, and he brought out the subduedness because she didn't care. But when she was with Ronnie, he brought out her passion, her love, her true traits, the true core of her, who she naturally was. And he saw her flaws, he saw her imperfections, she saw his as well, and she loved every bit of it, and he loved every bit of it. And I think that's something that we should desire, especially in our 30s. If we know what we want, the person that comes into our life, they should be enhancing all the goodness of us. They should be loving on our flaws, but they should be enhancing and bringing out those traits or those characteristic traits that we hide from other people, that we may not feel comfortable showing, we may not fully embrace. They should be supportive of all those things. They should love on all those things about us. And if we can be able to own that in that relationship or that connection, that should be a testament to show us probably that person is probably a good person to have around, to be in our lives, that is actually supporting the goodness of us. Not wanting to shame it or shy away from it or diminish it, or feeling that we have to shame ourselves or hide ourselves for showing all of us to this person. But if they're willing to embrace all of that, that's a good sign. So, go watch the movie if you haven't watched it yet. Thank me later. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. And I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Peace out.